Using functions to model relationships, worksheet 15, question number 7. Question number 7 will be worth 5 points. If you look at the chart, there are 5 blank spaces here. Each one of those 5 blanks will be worth a point. Also, I will be doing 2 out of the 5 with you, so you'll have to do the remaining 3 on your own. Before we get started with the problem, I would like you to do exactly what I did here to kind of divide up the space. Up here's right up here is where we're going to write the equation and stuff. So take this whole space right in here, divide it in half, and that's where you should be putting that one. And then take the space that's left here, divide that in half, the space that's left here, divide that in half. Then put a line going across this way. We're going to write the equation up here and then split this space in half with that line there. So go ahead, pause your video, and use a straight edge, or try to make it as straight as possible and as neat as possible so you have enough room to write down all 5 of these problems and the equation. Okay, now that you've done that, the problem says the linear relationship represented by the table has an initial value of 88 and a rate of change of -6. Write an equation and complete the table. So it has an initial value of 88 and a rate of change of -6. Well, that's the information we need to know in order to write an equation. So we'll start with our rate of change. The rate of change, which is your slope, is -6. The initial value, which is your y-intercept, is 88. So remember, slope goes in front of x, y-intercept goes behind x. We're going to do here exactly what you should have done through 1 through 6. Slope, the m, goes in front of x, and then the y-intercept, the b, goes behind x. So our equation for number 7 is y equals -6x plus 88. Okay, now notice how this column is under the x and these numbers are under the y. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be plugging in 2 for x, 9 for x, and we're going to be solving for y. And then we're going to be plugging in 64, 46, and 10 in for y and be solving for x. Well, when you solve for x, when you plug the numbers in for y, they take a little bit longer, or they take more space. So that's what we're going to be doing here in these 3 boxes. So what I would like you to do now is up here, put x equals 2. Write it small. Here, x equals 9. Y equals 64. Y equals 46. And y equals 10. After you've done that, write the equation. And again, write small. So y equals -6x plus 88. 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 And one more time. Well, let me fix that one. One last time. Y equals -6x plus 88. Okay, so I'm going to do this one and this one with you. So for the x equals 2, I'm going to put parentheses where the x is. And I'm going to plug in the 2. So you would put that all into your calculator at once and solve for y. So if you put that all in your calculator at once, you would get, well, it'd be -12 plus 88, so you would get 76. So the first one we solved for, we got 76. So you're going to go back over to your chart here, and beside where it says x equals 2, you're going to write 76. And you'll do this one the same way, the exact same way as I did the problem up above. Put parentheses where the x is, This time you'll plug in a 9 and you'll solve for y. Okay, so let's go to the y equals 64. So the 64 is going to go in for the y. So 64 equals negative 6x plus 88. This is now a two-step equation that we've been doing since the beginning of the year. I want to solve for x, so I box my variable term. I need to take this to the other side. So the inverse operation, or the opposite operation of positive 88, would be to subtract 88 from both sides. So that would cancel those out. So 64 minus 88 would give you negative 24, which equals the negative 6x. Last step, divide both sides by negative 6 to isolate the x. That would cancel the 6's out here. Negative 24 divided by negative 6 is 4. So when y is 64, x equals 4. So I go over here, when y is 64, x equals 4. Okay, so you're now on your own for the x equals 9, the y equals 46, and the y equals 10. Again, plug 9 in for the x, plug the 46 in for the y, the 10 in for the y, and solve just the way we did the others. If you have any questions, let me know.